Good evening, I'm Madison Carmouche. As we head into another night with freezing temperatures, we continue our first alert weather day. Meteorologist Shane Smith has more on what to expect as we head into next week.
Well, it has certainly been a cold day across the mountains, and we started off in some locations well below zero. Check out these low temperatures from this morning. It got down to 8 below zero in Williamsburg, 4 below in Somerset, 12 in Monticello, and even in the eastern part of our coverage area. When you have low single digits and low teens, that is some very cold air. Not quite at the record in London. 6 below zero is where we ended up there, and in Jackson we ended up at 2. Those records going back to 1985 when we were down about 15 to 16 degrees below zero. But the cold still could cause some problems tonight. That's why we're continuing our first alert weather day as those temperatures are dropping down once again single digits, and the wind chills may end up near zero. In fact, Manchester, Barberville, Pineville, and Middlesboro all forecast to be down around 7. 5 for Hyden, Hazard, and Hindman, Prestonsburg, and Pikeville, 7 up in Sandy Hook and Sayersville, 16 in Moorhead. So it's going to be another one of those nights where you definitely want to bring in the pets and run a small trickle of water through your faucet, although make sure to pay attention to your local water company's ordinances. I know a few locations starting to run low on water, so check that out first. Also, be careful with those space heaters, friends. They can cause a lot of problems. But speaking of heat, we finally have some in the forecast. We're heading into the 60s by the end of the week, but with it comes a price tag. We'll tell you what that is coming up here in a few minutes, Madison.
All right, Shane, thank you. As the snow begins to melt away, there are some things to look out for. WYMT's RJ Johnson spoke with Perry County Emergency Management about how they are monitoring the weather later this week that might be bringing in some rain.
As the snow begins to melt and with rain later in the week, water will make its way into the rivers and streams. But is it enough to cause flooding?
By themselves, with the amount of snowfall that's on the ground, it's not likely to cause any flooding, but they are given a couple of inches of rain this week, or up to over 2.5 inches of rain. So, but that can cause some issues, especially I think in smaller streams.
Perry County Emergency Management Director Jerry Stacy says with rain being scattered throughout the week, it is not a concern for now.
Unless they start forecasting higher amounts and shorter time frames. But which, you know, after talking to the National Weather Service office in Jackson today, they talk like that. As of right now, it looks like it's scattered out between now and Saturday, the 2.5 inches.
While it is subject to change, he says they will continue to monitor.
But as of right now, that is something we will be monitoring daily from our office with National Weather Service office in Jackson to make sure that we are on top of that forecast.
As they will continue helping those in the community.
We've done our best to work as hard as we can to be right there for them, and through any of these situations that we deal with when it comes to weather, we're going to continue to work hard and diligently every day to make sure we're able to help our people get through these events. Anything that comes up that we feel like is something that our people needs to know or that we're concerned about, we will definitely be putting that out everywhere that we can.
In Hazard, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Stacy says you should also be mindful while driving as melted snow can cause some slick spots. One Laurel County man is behind bars after driving under the influence. Officers found Jeffrey R. Caudle asleep behind the wheel of a car in a ditch on West 5th Street in London. After waking Caudle, officers found that he was reportedly under the influence. Officers say that before they could arrest Caudle, he was struggling, yelling, and threatening them. He was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. The London Police Department is investigating a shooting that happened Thursday evening. The shooting happened at the Betty Jane Apartments, where one victim, Cody Deaton, 25 of London, was taken to St. Joseph for non-life-threatening injuries. Officers were able to arrest Brian Goforth, 20 of London, after following snow tracks around and behind businesses in London. He was charged with assault, wanton endangerment, and receiving a stolen property, a firearm, among other charges. He was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. The Wayne County Sheriff says deputies arrested 2 people for drug trafficking. The sheriff's office says they searched a room at a Monticello motel on North Main Street late Thursday night. Inside, they found drugs and drug paraphernalia. They arrested Amanda Brummett at the scene. Yesterday, deputies searched an apartment on North Main Street after an undercover illegal drug sale. Inside, they found drugs and hundreds of dollars. They arrested Rabbi Kakesh, and in Barberville, a man is behind bars after a New Year's Eve crime. Deputies with the Knox County Sheriff's Office have arrested Alan Wesley Smith after he reportedly stole 2 cars, multiple tools, and damaged the property at Extreme Fitness on Highway 25E. He was taken to the Knox County Detention Center. And the Bell County Volunteer Fire Department responded to a fire in 4 Mile, Kentucky. Multiple departments assisted in putting the fire out, including RJ, Brownies Creek, Clear Creek, Callaway, Colmar, East Pineville, and Wright Fork. Officials warn drivers to use caution if they have to drive in the area. The freezing temperatures continue to impact water lines across eastern Kentucky. Certain areas in Perry County are dealing with water outages due to tank management. WYMT's Jack Demler spoke to an official at the Hazard Water Plant about the impact cold temperatures have on water lines.
With temperatures still below freezing, a number of areas throughout the Commonwealth are experiencing water outages.
I mean, as people in Eastern Kentucky, we're used to it. We're used to when we get down, we start experiencing single-digit temperatures. I mean, you're going to have trouble with your water system.
Creeks and rivers being frozen is one of the contributing factors to the water outages in the area.
If you live out in the county and you walk outside and you look at your creek, it's froze. The river, is frozen, not all the way to the bottom, but it's still frozen. That's where you get your water.
Eversole says they are working diligently to fix any leaks and get water back into people's homes.
We're fixing the pipes and stuff just ASAP. A lot of our guys have not been home in days, and they're getting on top of it. We're not letting anything go.
Another factor for water outages is due to old water lines, which Eversole says will be replaced this year.
2024 is going to be a great year. The mayor, the commission, they've done good. We've picked out the right areas that need to be replaced, and now we're going to finally start getting some.
The biggest thing people need to understand about these projects, Eversole says, is that they take time to get the proper funding.
Sometimes just when we request a project to be submitted, it may take 5 or 6 years to go through all the channels to get the funding. No city or county around here has money. I mean, just to replace a small area like Lothair, that's over $2 million. And we're still experiencing budget shortfalls because of the flood.
In Perry County, Jack Demler, WYMT Mountain News.
Eversole says while they are working on getting all of the lines fixed as quickly as possible, they are fortunate to have 3/4 of the system going. Eastern Kentucky is not alone in water outages, with Bourbon County and Paris first responders handing out water bottles to residents in a community with frozen pipes earlier today. They say a citizen called Bourbon County Dispatch to report the water shortage. The Bourbon County Sheriff's Office says the trailer home community deals with this situation often.
It's ongoing. It's been a problem for a long time, but they are working to make it better. It's just not going to be a quick fix.
Deputy Dempsey says the prolonged cold made it more difficult for community members to avoid frozen pipes. Coming up at 11, we will take a look at what's next for the 2024 campaign as Governor Ron DeSantis has suspended his campaign.